Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kiana and I do a lot of sewing and fashion videos. Today I kind of have a little two-in-one situation. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make two dresses with one pattern. So this tutorial is for a halter mini dress, and this is the first variation. This is what comes with the pattern. So it's created with a facing and these two little ties to create a halter neck. And then this is my variation that I created. So I used no facing and instead I finished the edge of the neckline with a binding, a bias tape binding, and I also created straps instead of a halter neck. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to sew the first dress and then how to also create those changes to make this variation. Of course, I will be showing you guys how I draped this on my dress form and actually created the pattern. And if you're not interested in that, then just skip a few minutes forward to see how I actually sew it. So if you are not interested in the pattern making aspect of this tutorial, then definitely check the first link down below because I do have this pattern available for purchase. And also you can check out the description below to see all the supplies and materials I used when creating these dresses. So without further ado, let's just get into the tutorial. Alright, to pattern this dress, I'm going to be draping. So I've already taped out my style lines and I'm basically just using princess seam style lines for this halter dress. So I'm taking some muslin, I'm putting it on grain, and I'm just draping my dress form. If you guys want some more in-depth details on how I drape, I'll put some videos down below. But I'm basically just doing the same method that I always do when I'm draping. I put the muslin on my form, I pin it up, and then I mark that out. So I basically just repeat that process for each panel, and before I drape my new panel, I will put the old panel back on the dress form just so I know that I'm actually doing it correctly and there's not going to be any like weird gaps or anything like that. So I just repeat that process around the entire dress. And then after that, you're basically done. You can take this off and use it as your pattern. I would definitely make some prototypes though and make sure it fits your body before going into your fashion fabric. Okay, so now if you're printing out the pattern, make sure you print out at 100% scale. That is super, super important. Okay, so now just lay out all your sheets of paper and match up the letters and numbers for the pattern pieces. And be super sure when you're taping it together that you are not overlapping your sheets of paper. Make sure you just line them up at the edges. Then refer to your instruction pamphlet to figure out what size you want to cut out. Make sure you do refer to the instruction pamphlet and don't just guess. And so I am deciding to cut out a US size 2. After that, repeat that process for all of your pattern pieces, and here are your pattern pieces, and you're ready to cut out your fabric. When you're cutting out your fabric, make sure you are lining up your grain lines with the selvage, and I also recommend using a fabric with a little bit of stretch to it. Don't forget to also clip in at your notches, and then here are all your pieces of fabric cut out. I'm going to remove everything except for the front panels, so that center front and then the side front. I'm going to line them up at the princess seams and then sew the front basically completely together. Before you do sew them together, just make sure you're lining them up correctly. So when you're lining up pattern pieces to sew, make sure you're not lining up at the raw edge where the seam allowance ends, because when you do that and then you sew it, you will have a very uneven seam. So see how the neckline doesn't continue nice and evenly? That's because it's not lined up correctly. So what you actually want to do is line up those pieces at the stitch line. So for this pattern, it's 1/2 inch in because that's our seam allowance. So then when you end up flipping it out, that neckline is nice and smooth. That's how you want it to be. So I'm just pinning up my seams really nicely before bringing that over to the sewing machine to sew up that seam. And then I'm going to also finish that seam with my serger. This is optional. If you only have a sewing machine, that's fine. Use a zigzag stitch or some other overcasting stitch. Now I'm going to repeat that exact same process for the back of the dress. So first I'm going to sew the princess seams at the back, and then I'm going to serge the princess seams at the back. Now moving on to the facing, I'm again going to repeat the same process that I've been doing. I'm going to sew the front facing together and then the back facing together, making sure that I'm lining up at the stitch line. So I'm going to sew them together and then I'm going to serge them together. Now I'm going to also give all of the seams that I've sewn now a really good press with my iron to make sure that everything is nice before I move on to the next steps. So this is where we're at so far. I have my front of the dress on the left, the back of the dress on the right, and all of my pieces are face up right now. So this is how I'm laying it out so I can explain this to you guys a little bit easier. So that seam that's in the center right now is your left side seam, and on the outside, that's your right side seam. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the left side seam because that's where we're going to install the zipper. Also, make sure you finish the side seam on both the front and back panels of the dress. You don't have to install the zipper on the left, that's just generally what is standard. And then also while we're here, we're going to connect the facing at that center seam right there. So we'll just fold those right sides together, and then we're going to sew it, and then we're going to serge it. So now here we are, we have our side seam finished and the facing connected, and we're going to install an invisible zipper. Before we move on, I want to bring up again that recurring theme of matching up the stitch line and not the raw edges because it is important right here. So you can see right here that I have the stitch line lined up, but not the raw edges. So I'm going to use some tailor's chalk. You can use pins, whatever you like, some marking pencils, and I'm going to flip open my seam allowance. And I'm going to use my tailor's chalk to mark 1/2 inch below the neckline, 1/2 inch because that's our seam allowance. So where that stitch line lines up right at the intersection of that seam, I'm marking 1/2 inch below that. And that's going to help us when we're lining up our zipper. So I'm lining up where the plastic teeth of my zipper start with that chalk line. And this just helps us make sure that our neckline is even where that zipper is. You don't have to use this particular method. This is just what I like to do. You can use any method you want to get your neckline to end up being even. So now I'm just going to pin the zipper all the way down the side seam, ending around where the fullest part of my hips would be, maybe a little bit lower, just so you can make sure that you get that dress on. And then I'm going to sew that on my sewing machine. Again, I'm going to show you a neat little trick to make sure that you install your zipper evenly. So I'm going to take my tailor's chalk, mark at the end of where I stopped stitching on the zipper. Then I'm going to take the other panel of the dress, the back of the dress, and line it up with my zipper and my front panel. And because it's lined up, I can transfer that mark from the zipper over to the dress so I know exactly where to line up the zipper with the dress at that seam. Unzip your zipper, flip it over once, match up all your markings, pin it up, and then again, just sew that down. I added a little pin at that end marking so I knew exactly where to stop sewing. Now to finish this seam, zip up your zipper, flip it inside out, and use your zipper foot to help you get really close to the zipper and continue that seam all the way down with 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now the key is making the seam very continuous. You don't want any like skips or jumps. See how that seam transitions smoothly? This means from the outside it's gonna look very smooth. You can also just cut off the excess zipper now. Now for the right side seam, easy peasy, just sew it up and then serge the seam. Now I'm going to move on to my straps. I cut out 2 using my pattern piece. They are almost 3 feet long, and I'm going to fold them right sides together and sew down the long edge, but when I get to the end, I'm going to make a 90-degree turn and sew off the strap to finish the edge. Before I turn it inside out, I'm going to trim down the seam allowance nice and narrow so that I can get it flipped inside out. And then I'm going to use a loop turner to just kind of push it inside out. You can use whatever method is comfortable for you. This is just what I like to do. And be sure to definitely give your straps a really good press with your iron before you install them. I'm also going to finish the bottom edge of my facing using my serger before I install that. So I'm going to install my facing and my straps at once. I'm going to place my facing on top of my dress, right sides together, and pin along that neckline. Before pinning in my straps, I'm again going to go back to my tailor's chalk to just help me out a little bit more. So I'm marking about 1/2 inch away from the neckline to figure out exactly where I'm going to be stitching. So this just helps me figure out where to place the straps so I can place them right up against the corner of the dress. So see, now I'm kind of giving you a visual of exactly how my needle is going to progress and stitch along that neckline. So now you can just stitch along the entirety of that neckline. First though, I'm gonna start at the side seam. I'm gonna use my zipper foot, and I'm not going to take that full 1/2 inch seam allowance so the zipper can have some room to move freely. When I get to the corner, I'm gonna keep my needle in, lift up my presser foot, and pivot my work, and then use the full 1/2 inch seam allowance to sew the neckline. When I get to the point of the halter, again, I'm going to keep my needle in, lift my presser foot, and then pivot my work to get that nice crisp corner. And then again, when I get to the side seam, I'm going to not use the full 1/2 inch seam allowance so that my zipper does have the ability to move freely. So now I'm going to reduce the bulk at the neckline by trimming down my seam allowance to about 1/4 inch, and then I'm also going to make some clips at the underarm curve. After that, I'm going to understitch, so I have my facing on the right, the body of my dress on the left, and the seam allowance underneath pointed towards the facing. I'm going to stitch through the facing and the seam allowance really close to that seam line, about 1/8 of an inch away from the seam line, all the way down the neckline. You're not going to be able to stitch the entire seam. You won't be able to get right up against the zipper, and when you get to the point where the straps are, you won't be able to continue smoothly, so you'll have to clip your threads and then continue at the other side of the point of the halter. Understitching just helps to make sure we have a nice crisp neckline and that the facing doesn't end up rolling to the front while you're wearing the garment. For the hem, I'm going to bring it over to my ironing board and roll the hem up 1/2 an inch twice to use my full 1 inch hem allowance. Make sure though, before you hem, you actually try on your garment to see if you want to hem a little bit more or use a smaller hem. So the last step is to tack the facing down to the seam allowance. So wherever we have a seam allowance, I'm just going to use that to help tack down the facing. So I'm only going to go through the seam allowance and the facing, not the actual outer part of the dress. I'm going to stitch it about 3 times and then tie it off. And then this is just going to help ensure that the facing doesn't roll out further to the front of the dress. So see how it keeps the facing nice and secure to the inside of the dress. And after that, you are done with the dress. So this is how I made my first dress. So now if you want to learn how to create that variation that I showed you at the beginning of the video, just keep watching. So for the variation, I'm going to finish the neckline with a bias tape binding instead of the facing. So I'm going to unzip my zipper, and I'm going to use a pre-cut extra wide double fold binding, although you could make your own. So I already have the dress fully constructed with the zipper and everything, I just don't have the neckline done. So I'm going to start by binding the left front of the neckline. So I'm just going to place that neckline seam allowance into the bias tape, and then I'm going to top stitch that down all the way to where the zipper is. So once that's top stitched down, we're going to bind the rest of the neckline of the dress. So starting at the left side seam where the other part of the zipper is, I'm going to bind around the back of the dress and then all the way up towards the front where the point is. So I'm going to top stitch that all down like we did before. However, when we reach the point, we're going to continue top stitching the binding for about 2 feet longer so I can create straps. If you want to make a halter design, I would continue top stitching for about 3 feet. So now I'm just going to create the other strap. So I'm going to place this behind the strap that we just sewed to create this illusion that that strap that's on the underlap is continuing seamlessly below the overlap strap. So for me, I'm cutting this about 2 feet long because I'm not going to do a halter. I'm going to start sewing at the end of that strap and then finish off at the point, continuing along to make that seam line continuous. I'm also going to stitch a little diamond where those 2 straps overlap just to make sure it's really secure and nice and strong. Again, I didn't do the straps as a tie halter, I did them as like regular straps, so I just threw the dress on, marked how long I wanted the straps to be, and then sewed them down. And then just as a design choice, I'm going to serge the hem with some contrasting thread to match the exposed seams at the princess seams of this dress. And then after that, this variation is done. Okay, Okay, so that is how you create this halter mini dress. Definitely let me know down below which variation that you liked better, and also let me know how you would change up this pattern or what fabrics you would use, because I'd love to hear your creative ideas. If you recreate this look and post it on Instagram, definitely hashtag Kiana Bonolo or tag me in the photos so I can hype you up and also repost it on my story. And if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok already, my handle is Kiana Bonolo. Definitely check me out, hit me up. Also, don't forget that the supplies and equipment that I used are in the description below, and the pattern for this dress is the first link down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!